So today we're going to be looking at a technique I like to use in order to create some kind of random bass lines. So I'm going to show you this technique within Bitwig first, and then in the second half of the video we'll look at how we can do exactly the same thing inside of Ableton as well. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and taken a few bass lines from the free sample pack that's coming real soon. So I'm going to go and highlight these, and I'm going to press Command and J. I'm going to make these all into one file. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out this is like 16 bars. So I'm going to right click on here, and what you have is you have an option in here called fold takes. So we're going to take advantage of this, and we're going to click on here. It's going to ask you how many takes do you want to create. So each take, for example, like one take would just be the 16 bars, sorry. 2 takes is going to be 8 bars plus 8 bars. So how many bars do you want? It tells you down here as well, 8 bars. So for example, the more I move it up, the more it starts telling you the number that you're going to get. So if we take this to 4, we're going to get 4 bars. So we split this into 4 sections, therefore we get 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 8, 16. So we could then take this to 6 or 8 even, and then we just get 2 bars with this. What about if we wanted to take this up even further? So what if we went to 16, for example, something like this? Then we can get some really crazy kind of like 1 bar things. But maybe we do want 2 bars, so maybe we'll go for 8. Let's try this first. So let's put it like this, and now what we have is just this little 2 bar loop here. But if we go inside of this, you'll start to see that this has all been put into takes here. What does this mean, and how can I use this to create some random weird bass lines? Well, the way you can do this is you can start dividing this and chopping this into pieces. So at the moment, we've only got one whole piece. But what we can do is we can start, like I say, dividing this into sections. So we can start chopping pieces. In order to do that, we can kind of put this here and press Command and E. Then we got one chop, and let's say we want all these chops to be like the same length. We can go and adjust this. We can put on the snap actually. So probably a better idea. Let's just go and make sure these are all on 0. There we go. Now this is going to snap to bar, and I'm going to do Command and E all the way along like this until I get to the very end here. Now I've divided this into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chunks within 2 bars. And what this means is now I can start to go ahead and select sections like this. And then what does this give me? It gives me something like that. You might think, well, this is a bit weird. Like, let's get some drums in here so we can hear what's actually going on. Let's go to the Patreon files. So, for example, we go inside of Patreon and we can go to like, let's go March, because at the moment we're doing in the Patreon, for those who are not part of it, we're looking at drums at the moment at the beginning of the year. So we're going over how to make your snares, how to make your kick drums, how to make drum loops. We're looking at all sorts of techniques, processing, how to make them cut through the mix, sound big and fat, etc. So we've got proper exclusive content on there that you don't see anywhere on here, covering stuff like that. So we've been making our own kicks and drums and drum loops this month. So here's a couple we got in here. Let's, like, for example, just take this loop here, and we can use this, and we'll put the loop on, and let's go back into here and let's see what kind of variations we can come up with. Let's listen. And we can then go around and start randomizing this. You could have one do something like this, and then something like this, so you could then repeat some of these pieces. Okay, we can start with a different first note. Maybe we'll come down here, maybe we'll have a longer first note, and then we'll start repeating like one of these maybe. and then we could come up here, for example, and then for the last one, have something like this, and we get. So you can really go to town with this. You can go really crazy, start moving things about, changing them, and you'll get different results. Okay, so I think you get the idea. Like, we could have hours of fun here, and say once you're happy with something, like, you can then, and this is what's really cool as well, you can create different ones of these. So I can take this out of here now, and I can move this into its own section. So select all of these, and we can start dragging these. If you press Alt as well, you can kind of copy this out like that, and then we can move it onto its own track. And you see now this is just one take. This doesn't have comping anymore, it's just one take. What this allows you to do, though, when it's like this in this mode, is you can't see anything from here, but once you go in, double click and come into the edit section here, what you can start doing is crossfading and moving things. So you could do this. You could also press Shift and Alt, and that allows you to shift through the samples and move the samples a bit. So you can start moving them slightly off, etc. So you can move these all around a bit like this, for example. And then we're going to get different results again. So now if we play this, we get. And we can, like I say, start crossfading these. And let's listen to this now with the drums, and we get. And then this has allowed me to kind of just smooth this loop off, so it's not so glitchy in between the two. And you can really just play about from here. Like I said, a Shift and Alt will allow you inside of Bitwig to kind of move between the samples, so you can get different sounds. Let's see how now we can do the same thing here, exactly the same process, but inside of Ableton. So let's go in there now and do the same thing. Here we go. Okay, so cool, here we are inside of Ableton. So what we want to do in Ableton in order to do this is we have to create some take lanes. So we need to come up to the create section at the top here, and we're going to insert take lane. That's going to give us one lane here. Now we can go ahead and Command and D this if we highlight this, and then we can just create a load of takes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, do one more. There's 8, same as we had last time, so we've got 8 takes. It's a little bit more long-winded than you would do it if you were using Bitwig, but it's still exactly the same principle here. What we need to do now, though, which is also another part that's slightly longer, is we need to kind of choose sections of this that we want to have. We need to move them down. So let's go through this now. So let's do it in bars, for example. So if we can take this and move this here, let's take both of these, put these into a take lane like that. We can take half of this like that, put that there, put this one here, and take these two here. So once again, I've just randomly taken samples from the free sample pack coming soon. Also, some of the sounds are from the Patreon packs that come every month. So if you guys are joined on the Patreon, you get access to these free little sample packs every month. So there are drums, there are basses, etc. And you can get your hands on those type of things every month. So this year we're going through all the different elements that you will need to create like a professional DnB track. At the moment, at the beginning of the year, we've been looking at drums. So how to make kicks, snares, hats, and create loops out of them. in order to have a nice collection of your own drum kits, how to save them up properly, to use them properly later on. There's loads of advanced techniques in there. We'll be moving on to bass, be moving on to like effects and pads and atmospheres, etc. throughout the year. So if that sounds like something you're into, there's always an exclusive video and sounds every month, all related to that stuff for you guys. Also, there's like monthly challenges on some of the tiers. There's the presets, there's effects racks, there's feedback on tracks, there's challenges for you guys as well, like little monthly challenges, practice. And that is all available on the Patreon if you guys feel like joining up there, or feel free to just join up as a free member as well. Occasionally you get the odd little benefit on there as well for being a free member. So we're using all these sounds here, like I said. So we've got these like this now, so we can just move this loop length to this. Now I've already put a drum beat in here as well. Once again, this is another one that's been made this month using our own hits. So we made the kick, snare, etc. And this is all included in the last month or so of videos going over exactly how you can do this yourself. So let's have a listen first of all, and you'll hear nothing. Just the drum beat, you see. What we need to do is we need to start highlighting these. So what we do is we select them and we press enter inside of Ableton, and then it will appear up here and then it will play. So we get that, but we can highlight the bits we want to play. So we can do this and press enter. We can then say we want this part from here. Press, let's make this bigger so we can kind of get the length right. Let's make this, for example, all of this. So we press enter there. We're going to select a little bit of this one. Press enter. We'll then have a little bit of this one here. Press enter. We'll skip this one as it's the same. We'll then have a bit like this maybe for here. We can then have a bit of this one playing. This one. And the end of this one. So we'll just kind of scroll down and then we should get these different sounds playing. Let's have a listen. Okay, and once again we can go through these and select the bits we want. So say I want to select this, for example. So I do this and press enter, and then I get a different beginning. And then like you can always make these longer as well. So like select this, long loop there. Maybe we want more of this loop, or maybe we'll swap these two around. Maybe we'll take the beginning of this one. We'll take the end of this one here. And then here we can just use like, let's take all of this one up here. Let's have a listen to this now. Okay, so we can get some quite cool little loops going. Once again, same technique. We can play about with this one here. Maybe let's just do this like this, see what this sounds like. We're just doing it randomly, seeing what we come up with. Okay, so we're getting some really random sort of vibes along here already. There's so many different variations we could try to get different results. So caps lock, shift and alt inside of Ableton will allow you up here to flick through your samples and choose different bits from the sections you want. So there we go, you can move these along, and once again you can start to play different parts within the sample. Another thing is obviously we can start blending them as well, like crossfading them with each other, which is obviously useful. to get a bit more blends and kind of create one new sound. See, when you do that, you create more of a kind of blend between these sounds, and it sounds almost like a one sound. So you can get some really cool, like sort of one-shot sounds, etc., out of what you've already got. And one thing I forgot to mention before, when in Bitwig as well, and obviously you can do this in Bitwig as well, is you can use this to kind of map out your A, Bs, A, B, C, D, sort of like question and answer basis as well. So when you're chopping these, you could like split them into A, B, A, and then like C, so for example, if that's the kind of question and answer you're going for, and all the different variations. And you can obviously you can use different colors as well. So you could color these sections up here so that they could be your A and your B. For example, this could be your B, and then this could be your A again, so it could be red, etc., etc. And the cool thing is you can see them all blending in together like this, so it looks really cool as well. But it's not all about visuals. Anyway, we've now got some cool blending going on here. So just like, for example, this bit here, we could then use this and make just one hit out of this. And then this now sounds like one bass. Even though we got 3 different basses linked together here, we've created what sounds like one. So you can start to create some quite interesting, unique kind of basses that you probably wouldn't create if you were just using your synth. So I hope this one has been helpful for you guys. I hope you found this one useful. I really like this trick, especially when sound designing and even making tunes. Like if you're feeling a bit stuck to come up with some cool like little bass riffs within a tune, then just give this a go sometimes. Just like think, okay, I'm just going to chuck a load of bass lines that sound like they could work in this tune and just going to chop and change them like this. And you never know, sometimes you can come up with some really cool little riffs that go with your track. So like I said, I hope this one's been useful for you. So take care of yourselves until the next one, guys. Peace.